culture
Coming
is
up
something
on
that
My
you can
Time to
identify
Talk.
with, but now it's a harder thing to identify because people don't see.
Rachel, what kind of
You
madness
literally
is
But
that?
anyway,
Are you gonna
You
let go of the bag?
Drop the
Rick,
bag.
idiot.
Rilla. You saw my hand was in there. You saw the
not my
So
fault,
anyway, as
Oh
you,
my
what would you like to go
my
back
days.
to the day? You know, back to all these will be
It's like
edited
a
out, God
rabbit.
willing.
Get out.
Rachel's gotta
Get
go and
out.
get that
Hold on,
new
hold on.
fandangled thing called the Hoover right
Hold
now.
on.
So
Everybody shut. I think mine looks great. My time to talk. So,
I know.
yeah,
Got a uniform now. I really feel like I'm at work.
you know.
That is my brother at Clubhouse that day.
As I said, we're getting serious now. My time to talk. Once again. Well, today we're going to be talking about what would we like to go back to, if there is anything. You know, what would we think that life would have been better or changed or whatever if we didn't actually progress to where we are now with certain things, internet, a Hoover, who knows? You know, we're going to explore that today. And let's start with Ria this time. It always seems to be me.
Oh no.
So-
Start with Rach. No. Oh god. I think my standout one, to be fair, would be the whole growing up thing. So I feel like I
Sorry.
love.
Carry on. I'm just thinking as a parent here.
No, that's what I mean. Like, I love where technology has taken us, but one of my core memories of growing up was, you know, playing out and like meeting the kids in the neighbourhood. We'd go and meet at Farm Park, Concord, so it's like play schemes and things like that. And I feel like for a while they kind of got phased out. I know that they are coming back, but I feel that technology had a massive part to play in that. I know, like, I was an 80s baby, so I saw the beginnings of you know, the Sega Mega Drive and things like that, and you kind of seen how addictive it became straight away, and then obviously it just progressed beyond anything I think we all expected, really. And I think it's amazing, don't get me wrong. I think there's, you know, it's done so much for us in general. But also, yeah, I feel like my kids' childhood is definitely different to mine. And it's not even that they play games, to be fair, but just in general, like, now it's more phones and things like that. Social media, you know, those are the things that they're aspiring to get when they're older, just because that's their conversation starting points now, whereas ours was, you know, oh my god, we did this in the park and this person went that high in the park and flew off, and you know, it's all of those stories. And I feel like it's not just technology, I've got to say.
People's door and they almost
Yeah, knock door run and things like that, even though, you know, we're probably a pain in the arse to the neighbours, but
running after cars when people left.
but as I said, I don't think it is just technology that particular thing is. I feel like that is just heightened awareness of parents and knowing you can't just be letting your kids run in the street. I know that's the reason I don't just let my kids out. I will supervise my kids if we're going to the park. We're all going to the park. Like, my kids then just go into the park, whereas we was allowed to do that. And probably because there was more community, and that's another thing that we're lacking. Like, we don't know our neighbours. I knew that, you know, it was the Stancliffes, it was the, you know what I mean, this family, there's that family, that everybody knows your people, basically. So they've said, Mary, we see your granddaughter down there, and you know what I mean. So you was, even
conscious.
if your parents weren't there, you knew there were people in the community that knew you. And also, if there were predators around, then most likely then somebody would know and say, well, you know, she was over there or she was over there. Whereas now, I don't think people know whose kids is whose, and Do you know what I mean? To look out
and it is a bit
for
more
each other a
scary.
bit more like that. Maybe that's just my community. Like other communities are probably a little bit more tight knit. But yeah, that would be my thing that I feel is we've sacrificed as a result of evolving.
Yeah, and I do think that is one of the biggie, you know, because only because you don't know what your child's looking at these days. You don't know, and you can't be over their shoulder all the time. I mean, we would love to, but I don't think there is enough parents looking over their shoulder.
So what's yours, Mum?
Yours first. Mine is always the first, so let's go for you.
Okay, so mine would be very close to yours actually in terms of I would take away like city living, even though I am literally like a city girl. Like I like having amenities close to me. I think now I've just got to a point where I'm like, no, isolate me as much. Not like isolate me so like if I'm calling someone there's no signal.
No signal.
And, you know, someone's like banging on my window and, you know, or
Ambulance
people
is like, we can't find you.
yeah, your house isn't on the map.
Sat down to get us lost, love.
Yeah, no, I would be like living in a horror film. But like just little space, like give me like little room sort of thing. And yeah, so I would go back to, you know, everyone's just got a piece of
village
land. Like everyone, like you said, everyone kind of knows each other and knows, oh yeah, the barnacles live up there. Sense of community, like you're living back on the farm. Everyone just like, you know, you're doing like physical stuff. You're like making stuff like making furniture, like carpentry, building. Like I think that like all of those things. Like I know I do see it on Instagram quite a lot. Like I do see like DIY videos and stuff. But that may just be the people that I'm following. Like I'm not really seeing people actively making these things.
Isn't that what Etsy's about?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Not everyone's just buying the stuff now because it's so like easy to convenient and like. But I just want to see people like actually doing it and it be more, not necessarily less specialised, but people just taking more interest in being more hands-on.
Like costumes, innit? Remember when you used to have to make the costumes back in the day? Now it's like everybody just goes to Asda and buys one, or goes to a local supermarket and buys a costume for their kids.
And obviously,
that takes out
I'm
that
not
whole
saying that I am not a part of
activity.
this because I am.
No,
also
no,
buying
exactly.
this
Because
stuff.
again, it's convenient. So who's got
it's
time
just
now?
convenient,
Yeah.
But then I wish that it just wasn't filled with. I think it was more filled with community-based things.
And
It's
maybe
like-
if there
it's
was
like,
more community, you'd have more time
making
to
a
do that type
cake
of
or
stuff.
something like that. It's
Absolutely.
like, well, isn't it cheaper just to go down the shop and buy
Yeah,
you $1.99? You know,
Like
Baking
you
a
can just
cake,
get
yeah.
like
before
ready-made
it was.
ones and
I mean,
stuff
like
that,
my
or
mum used to
freezer
make
ones.
cakes all the time, type of thing at the end of
Yeah.
for the Christmas,
yeah.
for the Easter.
Or even just because.
Yeah, or just because.
Just
yeah.
forking up the raisins in a row.
Yeah, you know.
What's that for
real.
now?
You know,
Mess up breadfruit.
those days have gone. I mean, like her nan on her dad's side. I mean, like that woman used to make cakes like. Do you know what I mean? Shop bought. No, she's making cakes. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the community thing has been a problem.
So yours?
And mine is actually like, can we have some manufactured stuff that comes from England? I can't remember the last time I saw made in England on anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so strange. Because, like, when I was a child, things were made in England, you know what I mean? We had the pottery, we had the knife and forks, we had the clothes. We had clothes shops that wasn't just big clothes shops, you know, like the what's the biggest ones, or designer. Everything didn't have to be designer, because like you could actually go and buy something that was from a shop that somebody was making some clothes and they actually put made in England on it. You know, like what happened to industries in countries, I bet America's the same, probably, you know, like everything is from another country, and we all know that what they're going to say. They're going to say, well, it's made cheaper abroad. Well, let's not make it abroad and pay the people what they deserve.
That's why it's made cheaper abroad, is because they're raping the people abroad for the industry.
Let's not use the word rape.
Whatever you would like to
word,
use,
right?
I would say that word. But
that is one of the biggest problems, is that they don't want to pay people the money that it takes to actually make it in England. And I think that it's a crying shame, actually, because like sizes are so hit and miss that we've had the conversation about sizes in documentaries and things like that. You know, like one time, if somebody says to you there was a size 10 or lower, you know what I mean, or higher, you could actually say, go into a shop and pick up that size and know that relatively it's going to fit you. Nowadays, because it's coming from so many different countries, you know, it's like you have no idea if it's going to fit you. Do not pick up a size 14 and think, or a size 12 and think, yeah, that's my size. I'll go and, you know, I'll take that home and wear it tomorrow, or wear it on that special occasion, because chances are it's not going to fit. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when things were made in England, it was for our size that we was, you know, that we knew was our cultural size then, or whatever. You know, for the British people, like I'm sure that Chinese people have a different size. You know, US have a different size, because they know what it is. But nowadays you can never tell. And things that was made in England, I'm not saying like the cars and all that was, you know, sturdy cars or whatever, but at least they were made. We could find one that was made in England and think that, you know, at least we could know that there was people that had to go out to them jobs in the factories and things like that, and there isn't that
all
thing
of this
anymore.
real estate that was once factories that like was making stuff made in England are just sitting there like pointless at this point. And it's like we've got all of this thinking which they're probably going to just turn into houses.
What's that? You mean like the
empty land?
Yeah, and the what's it?
Like all these factories, there's like hundreds of them, more than hundreds.
That is shut down and they're dilapidated,
they're just sitting there.
You know, and
but they're ridiculously expensive as well for no reason.
But they've made it ridiculously expensive because they don't want to pay people the right money that it takes to live in this country. Do you know what I mean? Yes, we know that it's cheaper. Yes, we know that there's somebody in China that is going to think like, well, thank God I've got that job or whatever. But there is people in England that is thinking, I wish I had a job. You know, like I love to do a bit of carpentry and make some furniture or whatever.
Money into industry.
That's it. They don't.
So until the government want to put money into industry, we'll be singing the same song. Like it's cheaper for them to do
go abroad.
All of this in other countries because they can pay them pittance to do what British people are not going to do, and nobody should.
More.
But obviously,
They're
we
like,
can have a say to say we're not going to do that.
We gave you this money, you spent less of it, so here's your bonus, and your bonus is basically the money that you didn't spend.
Yeah,
So
but that is one of the
all the
things
money
that
in their
I would love
pocket.
to see. I would love to see a bit
If you could
of
have
it
went
made in
you
England.
went
If I
back.
could
If
go
you went
back,
back,
I would love to see made in England on a lot more things than we've got now. I think that it's mashed up the economy, and I hate to use the word mashed in such a forum, but
Actually,
it's
you know what?
mashed up the country.
Forget what I said. I want to go back to the 70s where it was all peace and love.
Sorry.
Flare trousers.
No, it wasn't all
Smoke
peace and
little
love.
fro.
Oh, sorry.
Not in
America,
Birmingham, not in
just-
England.
Like, I would have been
It
a
wasn't
travelling
peace and love.
hippie. I absolutely would have been a travelling hippie. Yeah, man.
Try 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my take on it anyway. And you know, there's probably other things like, what would you like to see?
Take you back.
Take you back
Take
to.
me back.
No songs.
See, that was a whole. It was a whole vibe, and I'm not even.
Oh
Just
yeah,
chatting.
that's another thing. Sorry. Our MTV base. Loved a bit of MTV
Yeah,
base.
exactly.
Me sitting there watching the music videos. Like the kids now, they don't really appreciate like just sitting there waiting for your favourite music video to come on. You could just go on YouTube and it's just all there for you. Isn't it?
Yeah, I
Like
heard some music coming in.
Pirate Bay,
Coming
Bearshare,
in
LimeWire.
And it was like,
It's
oh,
all going over the heads, isn't it now?
the music is different
Don't
as
know
well.
about it.
Oh, you know, like there was so much that I kind of
Oh
missed.
yeah,
But
the DVDs.
Mm.
DVDs.
MP3s. They had a
You'd be
short
like,
lifespan.
yeah, and then all you saw this, the whole movie.
No. 2 for 10, 2 for 10, 2 for 10. Chinaman on his bicycle.
you know,
2 for 10.
you couldn't see that. Really.
Oh, you forgot the crinkle.
That's all you heard.
That's all you heard through the whole movie.
No, that's true.
Not that we partook in these purchases.
Oh, yeah. No.
We just frivolously found them lying on the ground.
Never that.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that you got to miss.
There was a few things.
We built up a lot of patience, I think, and endurance. Oh, but not that I missed this actually, but dial-up internet.
Dial-up internet. You missed dial-up
No, I'm
internet.
not saying I miss it.
Oh, okay.
But do you remember it? You had to just.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's on the phone.
Yeah,
now.
we're all on instant gratification right now. I mean, if
Absolutely.
it doesn't happen in a minute, then you're not interested.
But
Then
buffering.
have you noticed
not
that they're
happening.
now reversed?
What's that?
Like, for example,
What?
daughter number one,
What?
getting back to a message from getting reply from daughter number one on your side. Well, I don't have a daughter, so. But you're like, okay.
What's that?
Well, for me, obviously, I might.
Oh, it depends what you're messaging her on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well,
Apparently.
yeah.
WhatsApp's a
She's
dead
only
app,
told me,
apparently, so
that I'm
if it's not
apparently
Snapchat
an old person.
and you went her mum, you weren't getting through on WhatsApp.
I'm an old person,
Yeah.
apparently. WhatsApp is an old app.
Yeah, it's an old app.
Dead
that-
app,
And I
not
can't
old app.
use
It's a
my
dead
nephew
app.
was
can't
telling me
use
that his
as
son
communication.
says,
What is this? Do you know
Why
what
Snapchat?
was Snapchat was conceived on? Do you know what it was actually heavily? Do you research?
They know. They don't care.
So who uses that to communicate?
It's evolved. It's whatever they want it to be, isn't it?
it is.
That's like when I was listening to the 3 Degrees the other day, and I said to Lee, "Oh, these kids say they don't even know real music now because all they know is our music through TikTok sounds." The girl walks into the kitchen, goes, "Oh my gosh, I heard this sound on TikTok."
What was it? 3 degrees?
It was the 3 Degrees. That,
You're joking?
Yeah. Literally, I just said it, and he looked at me like, "Oh my god, your mum has literally just said that." So yeah,
3 degrees?
if and when, yeah, not
God.
Which
not
one? Let me want to know.
Yeah,
Pause.
I'll show it you after.
I'm telling you, there is loads of stuff
yeah.
that is like, it's going round in a circle, but it's like, it does make you wonder, have we done this before then?
Yes, we have.
Do you know what I mean? Have we done this before? Because like, Risha sent us a TikTok thing about 70s, 80s, 90s music with the same old tune, but just with different words. So,
Killed me.
you know what I mean? Like maybe Made in England might come back. It just might. You never know. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe the kids.
Maybe the village will come back and
they're
we'll get
gonna
back
have
to
to- They're
bartering.
gonna have to
That's
get
what we
something.
need.
Wow,
Let's get the village
but
back
it
for
only
sure.
comes unless that, yeah.
Because
I
we
think
talk
something bad
about
has to happen
what's it?
in order for
Oh,
that
it's
to
not
happen.
that. It's their culture. I mean, really, have we got any cultures these days? I mean,
Yes.
really? You know, like I can't see
Someone else
where cultures are these days. I really can't. No, I really can't. Not how it was before. Culture was something that you could identify with, but now it's a harder thing to identify because people don't see.
What kind of
Rachel, what kind of
You
madness
literally
But
is that?
anyway,
Are you gonna
You
let go
literally
of the bag?
drop the
Ricky?
bag.
Idiot.
Rilla. You saw my hand was in there. You saw the
not my
so
fault,
anyway, as
Oh
you,
my
what would you
Oh
like to go
my
back
days.
to the day? You know, back to all this will be
It's like a
edited out. God
rabbit.
willing.
Oh my god.
What would you like to
Give
go
me a
back
bag.
We would like to go back to the days.
We would
of-
like to go back to where Rhea, before Rhea
Come on.
dropped bloody
Take it.
popcorn on the floor.
Nah.
Get out.
Rachel's gotta
Get
go
out.
and get that
Hold on.
new
hold on.
fandangled thing called the Hoover right
Hold
now, so
on.
Everybody show.
gonna have to go.
Home time.
Until next time,
Home time.
My time to
ring the
talk.
bell.